In today's lesson, we will continue to prove triangles congruent. However, we will extend that to prove that corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent, and that's using Cpctc in proofs. Before we do that, let's work on this warm-up. List all the ways to prove a triangle congruent. We have learned that we can prove two triangles congruent using side, 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 angle, side, angle, side, angle, 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 side, and HL, which means hypotenuse, leg, and right triangles. Now let's move on to number 2. Given triangle CAT and triangle DOG, what can you conclude? Now, if I know that two triangles are congruent, that means that the corresponding parts are congruent. That means all the angles are congruent and all the corresponding sides are congruent. So I can say that angle C is congruent to angle D. Angle A is congruent to angle O. And angle T is congruent to angle G. So all the corresponding angles are congruent, and that's why it's very important that the congruence statement is written correctly. We can also get all the congruent sides to be congruent. So side CA congruent to DO, side DO, side CT congruent to side DG, and side AT congruent to side OG. So I take all the corresponding sides and they are all congruent. So even though I don't have a figure to look at, I can look at the congruence statement and get all the corresponding angles and all the corresponding sides. Now, Cpctc proofs are important because if I have two triangles congruent, then I can use Cpctc, which means corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. So after I prove that two triangles are congruent, so that must be a must. First of all, the triangles must be congruent before I can use Cpctc. Because if I know that the triangles are congruent, then whatever angle that they request, whatever side that they request, could also be congruent because of Cpctc. Start on our first proof. Let's start with the given. So angle D is congruent to angle B, so D congruent to B, that's an angle. And DAC is congruent to BCA, so that's another angle. So let me mark the two angles given. So D congruent to B, it's marked for me with the 1 tick mark. And then DAC congruent to BCA, and that's marked for me with the 2 tick marks. So that's an angle and another angle. And then I have a common side, which is AC. AC belongs to triangle ABC, and AC belongs to triangle ACD. So that's a common side. So far I have an angle side, congruent to an angle side. So these two triangles are congruent using angle side property. Now, they want me to prove that AB is congruent to CD. Do you see how AB, this one, is a side of this triangle? And CD is a side of this triangle? So after I prove those two triangles congruent, I can say that AB is congruent to DC because of Cpctc, because these are two sides of two triangles that are congruent, so they must be congruent. So that's the proof. Let's go ahead and start writing it. So angle D congruent to angle B. So I put the statement in the box, and the reason is because this is given. And then I have another given. So angle DAC congruent to angle BCA. And again, because this is given. So far I have an angle and an angle. And then I have a side, which is side AC, congruent to side AC, and that's because of reflexive property. So now by looking at the two triangles, I'm going to hide one triangle so I can figure out what property to use. So I'm going to hide one of the triangles. And I'm going to look at triangle ACD. And I can see that I have an angle and an angle at a side. So this is what I have marked. I have marked an angle, I have marked another angle, and I have marked a side. The side is not between the two angles. So this is an AAS. So I can prove that those two triangles are congruent using AAS, which is angle, angle, side. Now I have to write a good congruence statement. So triangle DAC should be congruent to, so D, this angle, matches with B. So I have to start with B. And A matches, so angle A matches with C. So after B, C must come. So DAC is congruent to BCA. So those two triangles are congruent using angle, angle, side. So you have to make sure that the congruence statement is written in a certain order. So angle, angle, side. Now, because those two triangles are congruent, then every single side in one triangle and every single angle in one triangle is equal to every single side and angle in the other triangle. So definitely AB is going to be congruent to DC, because I just proved those two triangles congruent. So that means that side AB will be congruent to side CD using the Cpctc property, which means corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. So Cpctc. Now let's move on to our next proof. I'd like you to pause the video and try this on your own first before you check with me. So X is the midpoint of MP. So X is the midpoint of MP. So that means that MX is going to be congruent to XP. They have labeled that for me. So we're going to start with that. Let's start with the given. X is the midpoint of MP. And the reason behind that is that it's given. And from that given, I can deduce that XP is congruent to MX. So segment MX is congruent to segment XP. And the reason behind that is definition of midpoint. Because if I have a midpoint, then it cuts, definition of midpoint, because it divides the side or the segment into two equal parts. So that's the first given. I was able to get a side from this given. Then angle M is congruent to angle P. That's another given. So angle M, let's go ahead and color that. Angle M is congruent to angle P. So far, I have an angle and I have a side. That's what I got from the given. However, if I look closer at this figure, I can see that there is an X over here. So angle 1 is equal to angle 2 because of vertical angle theorem. So let me write that down. Remember, from the left vertical line, I can write the given or whatever I can deduce from the figure. So angle 1 is congruent to angle 2 because of vertical angle theorem, so VAT. So am I ready to say that those two triangles congruent? Let's see. Again, to determine if you're ready, hide one of the triangles and look at only one. So far you have marked an angle, a side, and an angle. The side is between those two angles, so then that means that those two triangles are congruent using ASA. So the property I'm going to be using is ASA. So triangle MXN is congruent to triangle. So M matches with P. So if this starts with M, the other one should start with P. X is congruent to X because of vertical angle. So PXO. These triangles are congruent using ASA. Now they want me to prove that MN is congruent to OP. So MN is a side in triangle MXN. OP is a side in triangle PXO. I just proved those two triangles congruent. So every single side in one triangle should be equal to every single side in the other triangle. So corresponding angles should be angles and sides. So corresponding parts should be congruent. So I can say in my last step that MN is congruent to OP because of Cpctc. So whenever I'm given a problem like this, first of all, I have to prove that the two triangles are congruent using one of the properties, one of the 5 properties that I have learned. Then I can say the whatever they ask for, whether it's a side or an angle, that it's congruent using Cpctc. So I hope this video was helpful and a good introduction to the Cpctc proof.